Sometimes I open my door and see him in the field beside my house, though I can't predict when. He's a Wiltshire horn ram the farmer has whimsically called Enrico. And, like Enrico, my life has mostly been determined by chance and whimsy. At an early age, I found that any planning I attempt becomes useless and is soon washed away. I also learned that I have no choice about who I am or was, and that any control I have about who I'm becoming is seriously limited. I didn't plan to meet my wife so long ago. Chance brought us to the same university. Nor has Devizes ever figured as a lifetime destination, though I've lived here for more than a third of my existence. However, my life hasn't been just a tangled muddle of entwined expediency. So what begins to give it structure? The iconic images of my childhood, school days, other places that frame the stories of who I am, I've only recognized in retrospect. What image of Devizes will I carry into my future? I began by reflecting on themes linking my childhood in the Scottish Highlands to my present-day life in Wiltshire, consistently carried through the vagaries of many intervening years. Enrico has helped. He reminds me of the rams I saw as I grew up, and his image links the artists of antiquity to those who crafted the pyramid in the centre of Devizes. But this imagery prompts deeper and darker links. Sheep played a vital role in the history and fortunes of the Highlands and Wiltshire, bringing increased prosperity and power for some, disruption and misery for others. The long shadow of the clearances remains on the land I roamed in my formative years, introducing me to an ambivalent world. I heard about and saw the social pain of the evictions. Yet I, and later my children, played happily on the monument commemorating one of the factors who destroyed whole communities and villages to make way for the sheep. Growing up beneath the first Duke of Sutherland's monument on top of Benbraggie, the primary landowner instigating the clearances, I often played with his descendant children, who were our neighbours. The links to today are inescapable. Absentee landowners transform into absentee bankers, both embracing greed and ambition over compassion and community, encouraged by befuddled politics. Like Enrico's horns, the themes spiral through time.
Farewell to the heather and the glen. They cleared us off once and they do it all again. For they still prefer sheep to thinking men. But men who think like sheep are even better. There's nothing much to choose between the old laird and the new. They still don't give a damn for the likes of me and you. Just mind you pay your rent to the factor when it's due, and mind your bloody manners when you pay.
The effects of unexpected external forces can be disastrous, only survived by accident and luck. Enrico survives because he has the physical features that make him a champion stud, without which he'd be curry. Other fates fair, have they given me an even hand? I'm not unduly fatalistic, but in my mind I flirt with the norms of my Celtic Viking heritage and remain friends with the Morai, the three sisters of classical mythology, the spinners of life. Clotho, who spins the length of each person's lifespan, has already given me no cause for complaint. Lachesis, who measures the quality and writes the book of each person's life, has produced a varied text, and though at times I've thought her awkward or unsympathetic, I've enjoyed her colourful story so far. And Atropos, who will determine the time and manner of my passing, has appropriately cut each chapter of my life before any became catastrophic. Is this the next image to carry forward? Planning is pointless, but I can still dream. All I need is the belief that I can cope with most of whatever the fates place in my path. Then I, like Enrico, can continue to enjoy a life that won't become castles in the air or mutton pie in the sky.
And they called me an outlaw, and they called me a dreamer. They said I would change as I aged and grew old, that the memory